piece, I wanted to speak about this aspect. This aspect of what you would call spirituality, religion. Um, the triad is very prevalent in many different religious sciences, spiritual systems, and so I just wanted to kind of break it down for it, break it down into a simple understanding that we can use to better understand ourselves. Hope you guys can see this. So here you have, the divine mind. In the middle you have life. But here you have thoughts, or the Holy Spirit. And over here you have the Son, or the expression of thoughts. So the mind, the divine mind, initiates thoughts into initiates thoughts and ideas to be carried out into being, and it is through this life principle that initiates and is carried out into being. So this divine mind, or this Godhead, is the creator of the universe. The universe is the embodiment or the expression of the mind, which initiated it into being and impregnated it with life. The mind is also known as God, so you can transverse the mind, the divine mind, or just mind with God, the name God, or whatever name that you deem necessary, and understand it this way. It's very simple. So we are created out of the divine mind. So when we realize our higher self, we realize who we are, and we realize where we exist on the scale, especially this scale, because when we realize that we are created out of God, we start from here, and on our spiritual journey, we realize this within us, the spiritual thoughts within us, and then this allows us to get to the divine mind through life force principle that God gave us to remember Him. So let's keep going here with a basic understanding, and try not to get too complicated. This stuff gets very complicated, and then it makes people not want to understand it. So the basic concept that we're talking about here is life being initiated into being, or the universe being initiated into existence, life on earth being initiated into being. And so when we realize, who we truly are, we can, use this to come to a higher level of understanding, and we can understand that through this life force principle within this, given to us by the creators, this is the divine mother principle, and this is the divine father principle. We know that through these principles, they give us life, and we are the children, the soul carriers of the true will of our Creator, of our creators, of the divine thoughts within us. So salvation, in a sense, is based on finding the divine soul life principle within us that allows us to reach the divine Father, and it is through the Son, or what is known as Jesus. Also in Kemetic, it's Heru. We learn how to get to the Son, and we realize the sonship within us, the soul created by the mind, or the initiator, the embodiment of intelligence and intent and spirit energy and power within us to then go ahead and initiate our primal understanding. This first-hand understanding. Man is what he thinks. Man, or the divine mind, is what he thinks. So he is the embodiment of this circulatory understanding of spirit, mind, and expression. So we know the mind, in and of itself, is described as having a conscious mind or a conscious aspect and a subconscious aspect, or you have a higher and then you have a lower. Well, we understand that the lower is what produces, behavior, and we know the higher is what just produces awareness. So the mind, in and of itself, when we define the word mind in the etymology, and try to find the etymology of the word mind, we realize that this means to remember. So mind, in and of itself, is described as that which is to remember, to perceive and to remember. So it is the remembrance of who we are that we realize the divine within us through this life force principle. So we have to bear in mind, hold in mind the divine thoughts that link us to our Creator. And so now I just want to read a little bit from my book, Divina Sapientia, the divine wisdom, the divine experience, not just knowledge that you can read from a book, not just knowledge that you can find anywhere. This is experiential knowledge, knowledge that must be cultivated, the esoteric knowledge, the mystical knowledge, that which is hidden. And so I'm going to go on, I'm just going to read a little bit, it's only a couple paragraphs. So, life is an expression of the divine idea, manifested as activity and animation in the physical realm. This is the physical realm. So life is an expression of the divine idea or the divine thoughts, which then are manifested as activity or animation through life force principle into the physical realm. This is the physical embodiment of spirit and mind. So life is energy and requires directive power. So life is energy and requires directive power to give rise to a physical nature. So this life energy preconfigures the body and the physical nature of self, preconfigures the geometric patterns. So you have mind, thought, and emotion. So light preconfigures sound, which emanates before patterns. And what I mean by light preconfigures thoughts, which preconfigures sound. So Jesus is the Word. You see what I'm saying? The Word is the Son. We are the Word. You know what I'm saying? This is a will. This is a will being carried out. And this is how the will works. You see what I'm saying? And we have the capacity to become within this will each and every aspect, because this is within us. This is the rights that were given to us by the Creator, the Most High. So life is energy which preconfigures the body in the physical nature of self. Life and substance are ideas which manifest from the divine mind, or the higher self, the Ras of the cosmos, the head of the cosmos. Life is intelligence of the divine mind, which expresses itself through the directive power of thought. Man's mind is the focal life center and is found in the organs of the body temple of man, because we know our body is the temple of the Most High. So our temple carries out the principles and the laws and the regulations that are carried out by the one who initiated us into our being. So we know that life is wholesome, it's whole, it's holistic, especially when we realize who we are. And it is a direct representation of that very idea of the divine thought. The very idea of the divine thoughts in the divine mind, of the mind of the Creator, of the mind of the initiator is this very principle: mind, thought, and expression, spirit, mind, and body. And so, life is divine and spiritual, and it is the source of spirit or universal creative substance. So it is through life that we find the God force within us. It is through the life and the breath that is within us, the spirit that is within us, that we find the divine mind. So life does not come out of the mind itself, nor does it come out of the physical. So life itself does not come out of the mind, nor does it come out of the physical. Life is a spiritual energy that is self-produced through the ethers of the divine creator of existence. So the divine itself is life, and it initiates all of this into being. So when we say God, we're referring to the divine mind that has been initiated out of the primary principle. This primary principle has no name. It's light, sound, and power. That's exactly what it is, which gives rise to God's power. So God is not a man or a woman. It's a principle. It's a phenomena that happens in nature. It's the phenomena of nature. It's the principle of nature. It's the principle of existence. It's the principle of mind. Life is the principle of mind, which initiates thoughts and ideas into being. So it is produced. So light and life, because this is light, is spiritual energy that is self-initiated and produced through the ethers of the divine. The mind is created out of life or spirit, and the thoughts that are projected through and from the mind give life to ideas through divine intelligence in the likeliness that underlies every man and woman. So every man and woman come from the divine source. So when we realize who we are and what has been given to us, we then be able to initiate our spiritual thoughts and build a spiritual temple and have a holistic understanding of life and realize the infinite potentiality within us. And remember to bear in mind to set one's mind on the divine, or create habits that allow us to receive the fullness, the fulfillment of this spiritual understanding, and resonate on the level of Christ consciousness, the divine mind. So that's just what I wanted to talk about, a little bit about the mind and a little bit about the thoughts and ideas, and certain things, just certain things that I just came up with off the top of my head. I really have no script for this type of stuff. What I do, I just go by it, how the ancestors give it, and how the divine mind initiates it into being, into sound, and so you receive it, and that is how we communicate in a sense. And that's also what I wanted to talk about too. That language has a lot to do with creating our realities. So it's through the language that we use that we create certain realities that we experience, that we can interact with, that we can cultivate. So yeah, if you like this video, please like, share it. Yeah, so see you in the next one.